Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite NHL DFS plays for this Tuesday, January 2nd slate. We got 13 games here tonight where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and then we'll wrap up the video with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. With that being said, let's dive right into this. And we'll kick things off here by highlighting the 13 games that we have on this slate tonight, showing you the money lines and over-unders. First set of games here, we got the Bruins at Blue Jackets, Hurricanes at Rangers, Capitals at Penguins, Canadiens at Stars, Blackhawks at Predators, and the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Next set of games here, we got the Flames at Wild, Islanders at Avalanche, Flyers at Oilers, Panthers at Coyotes, Senators at Canucks, Red Wings at Sharks, and the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Los Angeles Kings. And then here's a schedule update for this week. NHL DFS videos coming out today and Thursday, but no hockey content on Wednesday, as we have just 2 games in the NHL. I'm also going to have an NFL DFS video coming out on Friday, breaking down my favorite tournament or GPP plays for the Week 18 main slate. With all that said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. Now, obviously, with 13 games, 26 different teams playing here tonight, there's a lot to love about this slate. But one line that stuck out to me in particular was that first line for the Nashville Predators. You got O'Reilly centering Forsberg and Nyquist. Now, for starters, it's a very affordable line here and a great matchup at home against the Chicago Blackhawks. But this line has been solid for the Preds all year long. Certainly the most productive line offensively for this team, leading the team in both expected goals and shot attempts per 60 minutes. And I love the correlation we get with these three, all playing up on the Predators' #1 power play. Again, in a great spot here against Chicago, a team that's allowed 3.78 goals per game this year, the second most in the NHL, with having a penalty kill that's hit at just a 75% rate. That's the 6th worst in the NHL. And then another line stack that I like here tonight is that second line for the Dallas Stars. This has really been a go-to line stack for me all year long. We got Duchesne centering Sagan and Marchment. They're very affordable here in a great spot at home tonight against the Montreal Canadiens, and I actually think they're too cheap on Draftkings considering how well they've played. This is a line that's combined for 35 goals, 47 assists, 82 points in 35 games, and I love the correlation we get with all 3 of these guys as well, all playing on the Stars' #2 power play. Again, in a good spot here against Montreal, a team that's allowed 3.39 goals per game this year, the 11th most in the NHL, with one of the league's worst penalty kills, hitting at just a 72.6% rate. That's the 2nd worst in the NHL. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. I got a lot of hockey content coming out for you guys in 2024. Alright, now diving into these individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards, and I'm going to highlight Adrian Kempe here, but really, I had Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators as my top individual play here initially. Then I really started to like that first line for the Predators, so this is just going to be an extension of line stacking, because I really like the first or second line for the Kings here tonight in a matchup at home against the Toronto Maple Leafs, because the Maple Leafs have really struggled here as of late, just going 1-4-1 in their last 6 games, allowing close to 5 goals per game, which has largely been due to bad goaltending, but they haven't been good on their penalty kill either, just hitting at a 67% rate, so I like stacking up the Kings in general here tonight, but particularly their top 2 lines or their #1 power play. So I guess with that, this is going to be the first real individual play here, and that's going to be Patrick Kane of the Detroit Red Wings, and hey, don't get me wrong, if you want to stack up the Red Wings here tonight in that first line or their #1 power play, I have no problem with that. Kaner's going to be priced at $6,500 on DraftKings, and he started the season a bit slow, obviously as expected, coming off of that hip surgery, playing with a new team, had just 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points in his first 6 games, but he's started to play like Kaner here as of late. 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points in his last 7 games. Love the way he's shooting the puck right now as well, playing up on that first line and #1 power play, and we all know how good this matchup is against San Jose, a team that's allowed 4.05 goals per game this year, the most in the NHL, with the league's 5th worst penalty kill, hitting at just a 74% rate. Now, I went a little back and forth here with this next play. I could have gone with Velarde as well, but landed on Ehlers here, the Winnipeg Jets, priced at $5,700 in a matchup at home against the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think both those guys for the Jets are cash game viable, and I think we can stack them up in tournaments as well. But Ehlers is a guy who's just progressively gotten better as the season has gone on. He's now got 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points, and 37 shots on net here in his last 10 games. Love the way he's shooting the puck. That's led to him averaging close to 14 DraftKings points per game over his past 10, playing up on the Jets' first line and #1 power play. And the Lightning just continue to give up a bunch of goals. They've allowed 3.45 goals per game this year, the 7th most in the NHL. I then got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins here, the Edmonton Oilers, priced at $5,600 tonight in a matchup at home against the Philadelphia Flyers. And again, it's one of those situations where if you want to stack up that first line for the Oilers tonight with McDavid, Hyman, and Nugent-Hopkins, I have absolutely no problem with that. Statistically speaking, that has been the best line in the NHL this year. But the reason I highlight Nugent-Hopkins here is because he's significantly cheaper than both Hyman and McDavid, offering some nice value while still playing up on that first line and #1 power play. You can see the numbers don't lie here. He's put up 9 goals, 24 assists, 33 points in 34 games. That's the opportunity you get playing on that first line and #1 power play for the Oilers. Now, dipping into the 4K range here for forwards tonight, really like Gustav Nyquist on the cash side of things, priced at $4,100, but I did highlight him earlier in those line stacks, so I wanted to give you another option here at $4,000, and that's Morgan Geekie of the Boston Bruins. He's got a good matchup here tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets, but I love the opportunity he's getting right now up on their first line and #1 power play, playing with Pasternak. You really like to see that, and he's made the most of that here as of late, putting up 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points in his last 10 games, averaging 10 DraftKings points per game during that stretch. Don't mind that at all, considering he's priced here at $4,000, and again, a good spot here on the road against a Blue Jackets team that's allowed 3.66 goals per game this year, the 3rd most in the NHL, and their penalty kill has really struggled as of late, hitting at just a 63% rate in their last 6 games. So again, I like the opportunity here with Geekie. Now, moving on to the defensemen here, and I'm not going to be afraid to spend up for defensemen on this slate. There's some really nice options in the 6K range. One guy that stuck out to me in particular was Evan Bouchard of the Edmonton Oilers, priced at $6,900 here tonight, again at home against the Flyers. He's an offensive defenseman who's been great this year, 9 goals, 27 assists, 36 points in 34 games, logging around 24 minutes per game, playing up on that Oilers #1 power play, and I love the way he shoots the puck as well, averages 3 shots on net per game, and 1.5 block shots per game too. Another defenseman that I like here in the 6K range is Roman Josi of the Nashville Predators, priced at $6,800 tonight in a matchup at home against Chicago. I think we can stack him up with that first line that I highlighted earlier, all 4 of those guys playing up on the Preds #1 power play. He's a very well-rounded defenseman, but he's got some nice offensive upside. A guy who's got 8 goals, 21 assists, 29 points in 37 games this year, logs around 24 minutes per game, playing on the Preds #1 power play and their penalty kill, and he loves to shoot the puck, averaging 3.3 shots on net per game this year, and 1.8 block shots per game as well. But hey, we got to talk some value here at the defenseman position as well. One guy that stuck out to me in the low 4K range was Shane Gostisbehere of the Detroit Red Wings. He can be a bit boom-bust at times, but he does offer some nice offensive upside. Someone who's got 7 goals, 19 assists, 26 points in 36 games, playing up on that Red Wings #1 power play, which is a primary target for me tonight in that matchup against San Jose. And then in the 3K range here, I'm going to go back to Timothy Liljegren of the Toronto Maple Leafs, priced at $3,400 in a tougher matchup on the road against Los Angeles. He has played well here since returning from IR, putting up 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in his last 7 games. And while I don't expect him to get on the score sheet tonight in a tougher matchup against LA, this is a very well-rounded defenseman who can rack up DraftKings points in a number of different ways. You can see there he's blocked 23 shots now in his last 7 games, hitting that 3+ block shot bonus in 4 games, getting you that 3 extra DraftKings points, which can be huge, especially when a guy does it priced in the 3K range. He plays big minutes for this Maple Leafs team, should play around 20 minutes tonight on their #2 power play and on their penalty kill. And then I got a couple of goaltenders here for you. Again, 26 different goalies to choose from tonight. There's quite a few options that I like. Igor Shesterkin's another guy that stuck out to me, who should see a lot of shots from the Carolina Hurricanes. But I like Tristan Jarry of the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, priced at $7,900 in a matchup at home against the Washington Capitals. You know, his record isn't the greatest, just 11-11-2 this year, but truly, he has not been the issue for Pittsburgh. Really, him and Nedeljkovic have been solid for the Penguins. He's got a save percentage of .916, goals allowed average of 2.47, averaging 14 DraftKings points per game, and he actually ranks 16th out of 71 goalies this year in goals save above expected per 60 minutes, and I also like that the Penguins are favored at home here tonight, sitting on a money line of -175. And then another goalie that I like here tonight is Connor Hellebuyck of the Winnipeg Jets, priced at $7,800 in a matchup at home against the Lightning. He has truly been great this year. He's got a record of 17-6-3, save percentage of .919, goals allowed average of 2.34, averaging 15 DraftKings points per game, and he ranks 9th out of 71 goalies this year in goals save above expected per 60 minutes. He's actually just allowed 19 goals now in his last 10 games, or his last 298 shots. That's a save percentage of .936, goals allowed average of 1.90. Needless to say, he's been very good here in his last 10 games. And as always, going to wrap up this video here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy that I got is Alexander Kerfoot of the Arizona Coyotes. Continues to play up on that first line with Schmaltz and Keller, as well as get time on the Coyotes' #1 power play. I love the opportunity he's getting right now, and he's made the most of that this year with 4 goals, 18 assists, 22 points in 35 games. He's also got 7 points here in his last 10, so he's been pretty damn consistent considering the price and opportunity. I then got Jake DeBrusk of the Boston Bruins, priced at $3,700 as well. Currently playing on their second line with Marchand, as well as playing on the Bruins' #2 power play. And he's riding a 3-game point streak right now, where he's racked up 2 goals and 3 assists, hitting 14.3, 15, and 17.1 DraftKings points in his last 3 games. Not bad at all for a guy priced here in the mid-3K range. And then the last guy that I got there is Jonathan Drouin of the Colorado Avalanche, priced at $3,500 tonight, and he's got a lot of opportunity right now playing up on that first line with McKinnon and Rantanen, as well as playing up on the Avalanche #1 power play. He's racked up 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points now in his last 10 games. Certainly not bad for a guy priced here, again in the mid-3K range. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 13-game slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.